Hello everybody, my name is Wendell Shanix. You may know me as a small-time Twitch streamer under the same name as Wendell Shanix, or as IGM PastelGodMag. I like watching a YouTuber called Leyzer Gaming Views, and he recently, depending on when I upload this, he recently uploaded a build video on the Flux rifle. Now, I'm gonna do my own video on that, not because I want to like copy him or anything, but because I personally love using the Flux rifle. It's a very good weapon in my opinion, not the best. Probably, I'm not very well versed in what's like endgame, what isn't, what has good stats, what's not. I'm like basically your amateur player, even though I've been playing this game for quite a few years now. I would still consider myself a pretty amateur player since I don't really focus a lot on the whole like meta aspect of Warframe. I just play what I like to play, and it's usually mag with a Flux rifle. So what I've done is I went and put Leyzer's build on my Flux rifle. Not his endgame ribbon build, of course. I do not have a ribbon that would fit the criteria for that. But his like normal, what you can do everyday build for the average player, which is arguably a very, very good build. But I want to like put that against the Flux rifle build I already had for my Flux rifle. So we're gonna compare these builds. Another build I have is like a combination of my build and what Leyzer suggested. So I'm going to put all three builds against one another to see which one, in my opinion, I think I would be going with more often than not. So let's see what we have going on here. So if you did not watch Leyzer's video on how to build the Flux rifle, basically his average build is Serration, Split Chamber, Heavy Caliber, Infected Clip, Stormbringer, Vigilante Armaments, Flux Overdrive, and Speed Trigger, or Vile Acceleration, or whatnot. Since my Heavy Caliber isn't fully ranked like his, the numbers are like a bit off, and I didn't want to make them more worse than they already were by putting on Vile Acceleration, so I opted for Speed Trigger instead. So I will also mention I'm not as high of a level as Leyzer Gaming Views, so the heavy gunners I'll be going up against won't be as strong. But generally speaking, they are over level 100, so I'd still think this build is valid. So stats with the Leyzer build, 15% accuracy, but since it's a beam weapon, excuse me, doesn't really matter, except if you don't like a wobbly beam, then by all means do not put on heavy caliber. I'm not going to be going too much through this since Leyzer has a video about that. You can watch, link in the description. But yeah, specifically I have over 400 corrosive and over 100 slash. This is not the same numbers that Leyzer has, but I wanted to point that out. So we got 20 corrupted heavy gunners, level 105. So let's see what the if my Helios can stop being a bastard. Through pure headshots, this build is actually really good. It's not that bad. I didn't think I would actually like it that much, even though I normally go for elemental builds as is, but just this build is very good and I very much enjoy it. With pure headshots, it basically melts a heavy gunner. What I like to do when I test my builds though is like see how well it does against body shots, because aside from headshots, I'm not like pin perfect when it comes to shooting in a live environment. So more often than not, I am hitting enemies more in the general non-head region. So even without headshots, the Flux rifle slaps. The Flux rifle slaps. The build I came up with before watching Leyzer's video. It's a slash build. As you can see, I have no elementals on this and 700 slash. Now, the reason I have a slash build on this is because I figured the slash was the highest physical damage on the Flux rifle, so I thought to myself, what can I do with that? And I went for a slash build. So as far as normal mods go, I have Serration, Split Chamber, Heavy Caliber, and Vigilante armaments on this to boost up all that. I have a ribbon that is has plus slash damage on it. I have Flux Overdrive to increase that status chance. Continuous Misery, which is 100% status duration to let that slash proc last a little longer. And Fanged Fuselage, which is plus 120% slash. So basically, I have a majority just general damage, slash mods, the Flux rifle, Flux Overdrive, status, yeet, and Continuous Misery. Top of that, I have a Flux rifle ribbon that I got enrolled, and on my last Kuva, I got this. Plus 200% critical damage, plus 190% slash, negative ammo maximum. Now, this overall is a pretty decent ribbon. The critical damage is pretty arbitrary considering the critical chance on the Flux rifle is not that high. The negative ammo maximum also does not matter considering how the Flux rifle works. But the slash is what I was really going after because it was either this or status, but the slash is what I really was going after because with this ribbon, it adds like 400 slash, over 400 slash to this gun. 3 plus 4 equals 7, right? So with this build, we're gonna see how long it takes to take out a heavy gunner. Now, just off the bat, I can tell already that Leyzer's build takes out heavy gunners faster already. But with my gun, if I just leave it to go, the slash can kill a heavy gunner. Now, the reason I went with a slash build on this weapon as opposed to an elemental build is because I'm using this Flux rifle in all situations. Infested, Corpus, Grenier, Corrupted, and slash is slash. Slash is not an elemental proc, so I don't really need to change it all that much. And most enemies don't do good against slash, so I figured I would go with a slash build on this. Give me an overall weapon that I don't need to go through and change the elementals on, even though I don't really change elementals depending on who I'm fighting anyways. I'm sorry. Now, as Leyzer explained in his video, you don't really need any more status than that because with Flux Overdrive, while aiming and shooting, you can already get up to 80% slash right off the bat. But again, compared to the Leyzer build, yeah, the Leyzer build is probably what you would opt for if you want quick killings. Now the elemental build, or as I like to call the fucking weird hell child between slash and the Leyzer build, goes a little bit like this: Split Chamber, Serration, Heavy Caliber, Vigilante armaments, Flux Overdrive, my slash ribbon, and then Stormbringer and Infected Clip. Right off the bat, I believe this hybrid build I made overall is the damage really depends on whether or not Vigilante armaments procs with that orange crit. It's not a bad build, but it's also taking quite a while. To kill somebody. And also with such a low crit chance, it doesn't really matter. But also I have I believe 6% multiplier with the a lot of crit chance that the Flux rifle ribbon gives me. So really the only reason, the only like upside of this build is if you hit like, if you manage to like crit on this thing, it will do a hefty amount of damage to whatever you're fighting. So in my opinion, the Leyzer build is really what it says it is. It's just an overall good build. It kills fast. It's pretty fucking cheap. I had all of those mods that I could put onto this gun. Without the fire rate mod, I don't think this build would be as strong as it really was, because with all those procs and it proccing so fast, it really makes this build worthwhile. Would I start using the Leyzer build? Perhaps. I do, however, very much appreciate my slash build, because it's the one build I've made that isn't complete shit against corrupted heavy gunners. Because a lot of times when I build weapons, I test them on Corpus tech, because they're the heftiest of Corpus enemies, but I mean they're still Corpus. Corpus don't really offer a lot of challenge against players, but I tend to fight Corpus most than not. Like, if I show you just how devastating this is against Corpus, you'll understand. We're gonna let that Corpus. Oh my god, Helios. And like this slash build. These are level 105 Corpus tech. And for the most part, this gun is just eating through them. Also, if my Helios can stop being such a bastard. The slash build is not bad. The slash build is not bad. I'm very proud of myself with it, that I made this. To put it in more perspective, that is not what I'm looking for. I'm going to bring up some ancient healers who also do not pose a lot of armor, or any armor at all really. Let's see what this. Even without headshots, this thing is melting through these ancient gunners. Against Corpus and Infested, this slash build for a Flux rifle is pretty good. It's really good. But against Grineer and Corrupted Grineer, I suppose, I do not recommend it, I suppose. I really wanted this build to be really good, but I guess it's only good against 2 faction types, which is still better than none, because I mean, if you want to go to slash hell on some Corpus and Infested, by all means go ahead. But I do highly suggest using this Leyzer build. Leyzer really outdid himself with this, and I'm very glad that that somebody out there cares about the Flux rifle as much as I do, because as much as the Flux rifle has like no spotlight whatsoever, as apparent by the 5 out of 5 ribbon disposition, it's not a bad gun. The Flux rifle is not a bad gun, and I don't know why more people don't use it, because I mean, I know it's like the stereotypical like Corpus crewman kind of gun, nobody really uses it, but it's a good weapon. It's a good weapon. You probably have better options out there, but if you're like me and say fuck the meta, then Flux rifle. Thank you everybody for watching. If you want to see more of my content, subscribe or check out my channel. I don't actually post that much. I have a couple of funny videos I made was about Warframe, and that's about it. If you want to catch me in action though, follow me on twitch.tv/swindleshanix. I stream on weekdays most of the time at a random time, and I just do stuff like play sorties or test out weapons or, you know, do missions, do grinding, some mundane bullshit. So if you want to watch me do mundane bullshit, I'm your gal. So yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by, and I'll see you all later. Bye, nerds.